Friesland, the place to be for a warm, welcoming and unique culture with a lot of surprising aspects. Friesland is one of the 12 provinces in the Netherlands and it is the one most up north. And although it is rather small, it offers a lot of variety in landscapes. Friesland is surrounded by water for a big part, but in addition to that, it also consists for a big part out of water because of the amount of lakes and rivers it offers. Because there is that much water, you can almost go anywhere by boat, which is very unique. Furthermore, Friesland is also in possession of 4 small islands just a few miles away from the mainland. These islands are very popular because they reflect a calm and relaxing atmosphere, and of course you have the variety of dunes, forests and fields to visit. An added bonus to this is that you can also walk to the islands during the ebb period. So as you can see, Friesland offers lots of possibilities to see variety in nature. Something else that this destination offers is the great historical background it has, which starts with a very popular worldwide 11-city tour that is done on ice. The first time this was organized was in the year 1909 and it has been organized 15 times since. Although it is not organized very often and especially not in the last years due to climate change, it is still being carried out on bike, step and by foot. Another aspect that really shows the historical background is the Fries Museum that is located in the capital city of the province, Leeuwarden. Since Friesland has been a province since the 1500s, it offers a lot of interesting stories and attributes which are all shown in this museum. The 2 most famous exhibitions in this museum are from Mata Hari, who was a famous dancer and who is assumed to be a spy during the First World War in Leeuwarden, and from Mr. Escher, the man who made the impossible possible and who inspired millions of people with his surrealistic paintings. Another museum that shows the great history of this destination is the Planetarium in Franeker. This museum exhibits different aspects of how the world, sun, moon and the rest of the universe is working. This is quite interesting because in the time that this was examined, no one believed the story. So this museum not only shows how the universe works, but also how the person who invented it lived at the time. Then we have the Jopie Huisman Museum, which exhibits mostly paintings and a few sculptures. The interesting thing about this museum is that the explanation of the paintings have been done by the painter himself, which you can hear through a mic. If you're not really interested in all those museums, Friesland has a lot of unique sports activities to offer as well. For example, ice skating is a really big thing in Friesland, partly by the 11-city tour and of course because of the famous ice skater Sven Kramer. Of course, Friesland also offers multiple water sports, one of them being scootjesjoel, which is a match between different scootjes, which is a unique kind of boat. It's a very big and famous sport in this area, partly because it can be done in almost every part of Friesland and because it is a real team sport. Another water sport that started in Friesland is vierjappen, which basically means that you try to get over the water with the help of a big stick, which you need to climb in and get as far on the land as possible. In the last few years, this sport has become more known outside of Friesland as well. The most popular sport in this province is definitely kaatsen. This is a team sport that consists out of 3 against 3. The goal is to hit a small ball and get it as far as possible. This seems very easy, but there are a lot of rules connected to it and you have to really do the sport to understand it. Kaatsen also includes several important events that are widely known and are visited by thousands of people. Another unique aspect of the Frisian culture is that it has its own local products. As you can see here, it is not just cheese or anything, it really are various and unique products that are being loved by tourists as they are not familiar with it. But the most surprising aspect of the Frisian culture is that it has its own language. Of course, everyone in Friesland can speak Dutch as well, but 72% also speaks Frisian, which is really unique for such a small part of the Netherlands. Since last year, Friesland and in particular Leeuwarden is worldly famous. This is because it was chosen to be the cultural capital city of Europe. Because of this, there have been built 11 fountains in all the 11 cities to attract tourists. In every city there is a different fountain that explains some unique aspect of every city. The choice to build the fountains is of course because it reflects the unique thing about Friesland consisting and surrounded by so much water. Unfortunately, not all 11 are built yet because they were short on money. However, 9 of them are already there to visit and the last 2 are expected to be there end of 2019. One of the very popular events in Friesland is the tall ship races in Harlingen. This event is widely famous because the crew on the ships are for a big part international. The race ends at the Frisian Islands and after that there is a parade being held at the port of Harlingen.